Welcome to the PROLIFE podcast. Today we're joined by our friend Sylvia Johnson with Houston Pregnancy Health Centers. So we're going to talk about what pregnancy centers do and a blind react. I don't know what we're reacting to, but here we go. Let's get started. Happy Tuesday, PROLIFE family. Grab your coffee, pull up a chair. Let me introduce the awesome people around the table. We have Kim, Media Communications Director, Veronica, who is now our education consultant. Cool new title.
Emeritus.
Emeritus. And our awesome guest, Sylvia Johnson. Welcome to the team.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So we want to talk today with you about what pregnancy centers do. And we just figured you were probably the most qualified person in the room.
No, wait. Elizabeth Warren is the most qualified person.
Lordy.
In case you have not heard. So before you start explaining what pregnancy centers
Sylvia
do.
doesn't even know what she's getting
I
into.
don't know either.
No, I actually saw one of y'all podcast.
Okay.
So I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
I want Elizabeth Warren real quick to explain what pregnancy centers do, and then you can tell us
Are we going to do this right now?
where
Okay.
she is or is not correct. So
I just got a high sign that we were going to do a blind react. I don't
yes.
don't know what we're reacting to.
Go play that clip.
Okay.
In Massachusetts right now, those crisis pregnancy centers that are there to fool people who are looking for pregnancy termination help outnumber true abortion clinics by 3 to 1. We need to shut them down here in Massachusetts, and we need to shut them down all around the country. You should not be able to torture a pregnant person.
Oh my gosh.
What now?
Them
Whoa.
fighting words.
So, first of all, just looking at that, Elizabeth Warren just kind of reminds you of that confused grandmama.
Oh, truth.
You know, you look at her, you just want to
Bless her
lead her,
heart.
you know, but the entire Democrat Party is like her. They're all confused. They all act as if they have dementia. They all hype it. They feel so powerful in their speaking lies.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you about pregnancy health centers,
Yes,
which
Yes.
actually started right after Roe versus Wade as a place to educate women on the fetal development of unborn children. Sierra Coop, Dr. Wilkie was part of it. I mean, just amazing giants in the pro-life ministry said, let us provide places where women can be educated on their options. And, you know, pregnancy health centers, I think, is part of the greatest story, the second greatest story never told. Okay, we know what the first one was. Pregnancy health centers provide free services to women who are facing unplanned pregnancy or even women in pregnancy situations. We serve more women nationwide, providing them with free resources such as diapers, formula, which you can't even find nowadays on the
bless
shelves.
you.
But pregnancy centers will have that available for women. We have nurses, we have doctors, we provide free medical services. Some pregnancy centers even provide prenatal care. We provide housing services as well for women who need a place to stay. I can go on and on. Prenatal vitamins. We provide services for young dads who find themselves in situations and who didn't have a father. You go to a pregnancy center, be mentored by a Christian volunteer. It's just amazing what we do with very little, and this woman has the audacity to try to compare us to how many abortion facilities are in Massachusetts. Okay, what does abortion facilities do? They're in the Black neighborhoods, they're in the Black communities. They're there to destroy, to harm life, to harm women. And you know, I've been outside. I've prayed outside abortion clinics. I see where they draw the women in, and you know what? You can't tell me this. I see it. They put a pad between her legs when the procedure's over and just push her out the back door. That's it.
Terrible.
It's so telling to me that, you know, you have the sidewalk counselors there on the sidewalk trying to talk to women before they go in and get them help, some other help beforehand. And the clinic escorts, they call them, the volunteers for the abortion clinics will try to stop and say, like, no, don't talk to those people. Don't talk to those people. They're crazy. And so they do everything they can to stop us from talking to the women beforehand. And then after the abortion, we're on the other side too. We're on there, the exit, trying to say, hey, if you regret the abortion, if you need counseling after there, we're here to help you. And the abortion, the sidewalk what are they called again? The clinic escorts don't even care about us talking to the women after. They already got their money. They don't care what happens afterward.
Yeah, they're not really escorting them back to their car.
No, because they don't care. But that's how we're there for the women on both sides of, hopefully we can stop her from going in the first place and having that abortion. But on the other side too, there's counseling available for women who regret the decision. There's the abortion pill reversal, which we're going to talk about in a second. I'm really excited about that one. So contrary to popular belief, you do not torture pregnant people.
You don't torture pregnant people?
But we know who is tortured at the abortion clinics. We know what torture looks like. We've seen videotapes of it.
Yeah.
A mama walking out with hope, with free prenatal care, with a bag of diapers, with her rent paid, with options for her future, such as job and employment opportunities. That's not torture. But it's the boldness. They're so brazen that the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, is attached to racism and genocide. Okay, we're bold enough to say that.
Oh yeah.
Then we're bold enough to open up in minority communities. We're bold enough to do that, okay, with no backlash. And then we're bold enough to convince a minority woman to pay us to destroy her own unborn baby in the womb. We're bold enough to do that. Then we're bold enough to do whatever we do with those baby parts. I'm not going to talk about that on your podcast, but they're bold enough to do that. And then how dare she come and say, we torture, we fool, we lie. They are the exact, it's like, I don't know if you ever saw Seinfeld, when you in this bizarro world.
Yes.
Remember they were in that bizarro world?
Oh
We've been in that bizarro world for a minute.
Yes. And the media
This is exactly where we are.
The media lets them get away with it. Like you said, they've been so bold for so long of just going the maximum amount possible of opening the abortion clinics in minority neighborhoods, targeting Black children, and then saying that you pro-lifers are the white supremacists. And it's like, you're going to have to explain that one to me, because pretty sure that we want more children to be born of all races and
breeders.
I know. The nerve.
Well, when
It's
Elizabeth
just
Warren
shocking.
talked about shutting it down, it reminded me of this hilarious meme I saw the other day, because, pro-choice people often say, like, you're not helping enough. You need to legalize abortion because there's not enough services for women out there. And then we say, oh, no, there's good news. Look at all these services. And then they say, okay, where are the pregnancy centers so I can burn them down?
Right.
So it's like, because they're literally trying to burn them down right now. Are y'all experiencing any...
We got a threat
Crazy
from a
stuff.
guy on Yelp, and he gave us a bad review, and I went in on him. I went in. I wish I could read what I wrote to him. I wish y'all could pull up my, I'm like, why are you
Link in the
targeting,
comments.
why are you coming into the Black neighborhood and wanting Black babies to die? Why are you writing this bad review about our organization that support and help unborn children? Why your racism is showing. It really is showing, because these are services that is actually providing support and a structure to families in our community. 50 years of abortion, where has my community gotten in 50 years?
Yeah.
It was supposed to solve our problem. Right. They're telling us it would take us out of poverty. They're telling us abortion is the solution.
Yeah.
And what has happened in the last 50 years in my community?
Yeah.
It's gotten worse.
It's gotten much worse. Compare it to 50 years ago.
Welfare's gone up.
When children were likely to be born in two-parent homes, to now what was plaguing our community. So, and I think the most important thing is that Christians rise up and speak your truth. No, speak the truth.
Yes. With a capital T.
Speak the truth. They're going to speak their truth. You got with a capital T.
Yes.
You know about that. I do too. Speak the truth with a capital T. Stop being silent. Stop allowing this perpetual lie to continue. Stand up for what we're doing. Black Lives Matter to y'all long before that came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I've been doing a pregnancy center for 38 years now. And guess what? On June 24th, 2022, a 38-year prayer was answered.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up that morning and God answered a
Yes.
prayer
Day
that I
will
prayed
go
for
down
38 years.
in history.
Amazing. Wow. Since Roe v. Wade has been overturned, have you all seen more women coming into your facilities to get help?
We are serving more women for help, and I could tell you a little bit about some of the women that we're
Yes,
seeing.
please. Love
They
stories.
are afraid. They're angry. They're influenced by social media. They're 3 generations apart from church or any value system or any character building at all. They are. Don't really know who they are or what they want. You know, they're accustomed to somebody else telling them, giving them their identity. It's really a different generation that we're serving. They are being sponsored by the pro-abortion movement with funds to fly out of Texas to other states. They are being funded generously by donations on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Very liberal companies and liberal organizations that are funding unborn children to die. These women to fly out and abort their children. And so what we're seeing is this just real strong battle for the life of an unborn baby. You know, and I can tell you, I want to just tell you one story. You
Yes,
can
please.
edit and cut this, but you know, we're
Probably
one of the,
not.
we're one of the only pregnancy centers in the community that does the abortion pill reversal. Okay.
Sweet.
And thank God for that. I heard Dr. Delgado talk about this in 2017, and I came back and told my staff, this is the direction we're going in. You know, the future is going to be in chemical abortions. They're going to really try to do that.
Yep.
And lately, Biden came on supporting it, and Becker, whoever he is, Becerra
Yeah.
came on supporting it as well. Well, we
He
had
claims
this,
to be Catholic,
Yeah.
so there's that.
Oh my gosh! So we had this young lady. I'm gonna change a few of the details just for the story.
Right.
She was flying to Houston out of California. Had taken the first pill. She had
And
so
she
many.
had already taken the pill?
Had already taken the pill in California. She was just out there having fun. Decided to take an abortion pill. Was pushed. You know, all of the social media. Take the pill. She took the pill in California. Had a few minutes to board the flight to Houston. We only had a few minutes to talk to her. Talked to her on the flight. Before she got on the flight, she says, okay, my boyfriend doesn't know. He's meeting me in Houston when my plane lands. He doesn't know what I did in California. I just kind of went out there and it was just something to do.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so then her flight was delayed. Her flight was delayed. And when you take the first pill, a lot of people don't understand we only have a few hours to get the antidote to her.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had only a few hours to work with her. The flight was delayed. So we then call around in California where she is. We're going to Uber you to a pregnancy center
Yes.
in California so that they can get you the antidote so that they can help you. Well, there was no place near the airport she was in.
Oh my goodness.
So we said, okay, what
Dang,
time to fly?
California.
Oh my gosh.
Elizabeth
What time is your
Warren,
flight
go to
landing?
California.
Okay, your flight is landing. Okay, we're going to be there waiting on you. And this is on a Friday night.
Oh,
So
my
all of this
goodness.
is overnight Friday night. She lands, gets to us just in time, 11 a.m. We're open on Saturday. Thank goodness pregnancy centers
Yes.
are open on Saturday. We need to be open on Saturday. She gets to us, our doctor comes, there's a heartbeat.
Oh
Baby,
my
6
goodness.
weeks old, 4 days. There's a little baby in there, heartbeat. The little baby is right there, still alive. Now, if you can imagine in the middle of a process to end this child's life,
Yeah.
there is a antidote that will help her that the media is saying is unfounded and it
Yeah.
doesn't work. But it's too late for us because I have too many photos of babies that were
Have been
saved
saved,
from
yeah.
this procedure. Now, it's not, we haven't had 100% success. I'm
Yeah.
just going to tell you that.
Yeah.
We haven't had 100% success. So we work with this young lady. Then we call the pharmacy. The pharmacy says to us, we will not give her the pill until Monday.
Oh, what?
Until Monday. They
What?
know what the pill is for, the antidote.
Yeah.
Okay, so our pro-life
It's like
doctor.
a huge dose of progesterone,
Oh my gosh!
right?
Is that,
Yeah, like a-
that,
like
that
a
your
triple
body
shot of
that your body
progesterone.
naturally
Yeah.
generates. So it's
Yeah.
very safe. But the pharmacy was fighting us not to give her the antidote. Now, thank God, I'm gonna give a shout out right now to Dr. Elizabeth Keeler, who's our MD.
All
Do y'all know
right.
her?
Yes, we do. Yes.
She's our
She's
MD.
involved with us too.
Oh my
It's
gosh! Dr.
wonderful.
Keeler gets on the phone. She calls that pharmacy,
Oh, that's
and she takes
awesome.
them to the Man, I tell you what, she
Go
took
Keeler.
it to the hilt.
She's
oh
great.
my goodness.
She fought like you would not believe, with all 6 of her children, 2 of her dogs, and everything in the background. I mean, she's fighting
wow.
for this one baby to live.
Praise the Lord.
The mother takes the antidote, and then she takes the abortion pills, the remainder of them, threw them in the trash. We took a photo of the pills in the trash. But all that we went through for that one baby.
Yes.
And I want to tell you, that's almost every day at the pregnancy
oh
center.
my God.
When they come in, we're fighting like that every day for every single child to live.
Yeah.
But we don't give up.
Yeah.
And we don't let go. And we know who we are. We know why we're there. We know what we're supposed to do. My identity as a pregnancy center is that first and foremost, I am Christian. I depend on the Lord. Second
Can't
of all,
do this without
right,
Christ.
right.
Oh, yeah.
And second of all, I train all our volunteers and staff that they're soldiers. They're soldiers. Can't be weak in this movement. You cannot be weak and be pro-life.
Yeah, I've said for a long time that, you know, we're, as a pro-life movement, as each organization, we're only as strong as our weakest link. And so if you're not strong in your faith, if you're just letting sin into your life, you know, the devil is going to attack your organization and the entire pro-life movement through that. So we always have to be on guard.
Right. We do. And I have to tell you, you know, I didn't see myself being executive of a crisis pregnancy center. That's not what my parents wanted for me. You know, they were very upset when I told them I chose this as a profession. They're like, you won't have retirement. You won't have stocks. Why would you work for a nonprofit? You're never going to have enough money to live on. But I want to tell you this. When God gives you that calling, He gives you that strength. And He gives you that voice. And He gives you that assurance. What I do every day is I show up. I'm passionate about what I do, and I absolutely love it. I love every opportunity that we're given to encourage love on a mama, support that mother, respect that mother, regardless of her decision. I'm still going to be there for her.
Absolutely.
If she tells me I'm flying out to Colorado today to have an abortion, we tell her, well, honey, we're going to check on you. And when you get back to Houston, if you need any counseling, any support for your other children, we're going to be here to help you. We're not going to let you go.
Exactly.
We care about you. We love you. God knows her future. We just know what we're supposed to do with her right at that moment.
Yeah, that is one of the most important missions going forward after Roe v. Wade is overturned, is that we have to make sure that these centers that are in our communities, right here in every single community across Texas, you have a pregnancy center. Yeah. Even, like, I'm from West Texas, even in our most podunk towns out there that have like
there's
0
a pregnancy
people.
center in almost every town.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I promise you, there's going to be one near you.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to make sure that women, whenever they're looking at like, oh, I'm pregnant and I don't know what to do, they can go get abortion pills online. They can go fly out to another state. There's a lot of ways that the abortion industry is still trying to exploit these women and kill their preborn children.
That's right.
And we have to be there stronger than ever. It's not just, oh, we're done. Roe v. Wade that box is checked off. We're done. The pregnancy centers are so much more important now than ever.
You're right. I asked them, I was at church yesterday and we were in a Sunday school class and they were talking about Roe versus Wade and like, well, Sylvia, things are changing for you. I said, do you actually think abortions aren't happening right now in our city? Do you really think that people who murder unborn babies abide by the laws?
Right, they're just giving up. They're all done.
Do you really think that?
No, not
Absolutely
a chance.
not.
Yeah, I think a lot of people they're pro-life, but they're not as deeply in the movement as you are or as we are. They might just accidentally be naive. They just think, oh, well, the news says it's over. And I'm like, this is just phase 2. We're in phase 2, and it's going to be even dirtier than phase 1.
Right.
Because now it's underground.
Right.
So
I say all the time that 38 years I worked in pro-life ministry, and 38 years as an executive director. I've been practicing for 38 years for this day.
Yeah.
But what just happened?
Yeah, that's so
In
good.
June. I practiced for 38 years. Now the real work begins.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
We've wandered in the desert for 40 years. And
Yeah.
now we've made it to the promised land. Now there's giants to
That's
kill.
right.
now we got to
That's
fight.
right.
Now there's giants to kill.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
We're running a little tight on time for this segment, so we want to give you some other important information right now.
Save the date for Boots on the Ground. It's an awesome pro-life conference coming up January 28th and 29th. come to Austin, Texas with us to march to the Capitol to celebrate the end of Roe v. Wade, to commemorate Roe v. Wade, and to learn from expert pro-life speakers on how to keep Texas pro-life forever. Come to Austin with us and hear from Ryan Baumberger, our keynote speaker who shares his personal story, and so much more. Book your tickets today, bootsonthegroundtx.com. See you in January.
The Supreme Court just overturned Roe v. Wade. This is a historic moment. Now we have a bold, groundbreaking agenda for the next steps. First, we have to enforce our laws and make sure liberal district attorneys don't give abortionists a free pass. Second, we need to expand the life-saving alternatives to abortion program. And third, we need to save hospital patients. Do you believe in this vision? Go to texasrighttolife.com/stand to donate now and save lives.
Welcome back, friends. So, oh my gosh, between things, we start talking more content. And so you have an exciting little project that you just mentioned that sounds like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, we want to be the answer to women who are involved in seeking abortions online through the abortion pill industry and even from their doctors. So there's an abortionist here in Houston. He's on the second floor of a building, and every day from 9 to 5, he distributes the pills, the 2 pills to have the chemical abortion. Right. Well, we're opening a Versa clinic there.
Yes.
And Google shut us down, so we can't really advertise abortion pill reverse on Google. So this is going to be like our advertisement center.
Yeah.
And our reverser, right?
There you go. Here's the advertisement. Share it with your friends.
And so we're going to open what's called Versa. Versa will be the first of its kind abortion pill reversal clinic that opened from a pregnancy center. Okay.
Nice.
And so we will treat women right there. We will have the antidote in the office, so we don't have to deal with pharmacists and all of that drama. Dr. Keeler is making sure that, so that we have it right there on staff. We will have a medical professionals there and right there at the reversal clinic, and we will be the first of its type in the United States. And I'm hoping that our template here in Houston can be used throughout the nation for other pregnancy centers to extend their services or begin to look at things differently in the wake of a post-Roe world. How are we going to combat this, and what are we going to do differently? I anticipate the first year, I'm anticipating at least 1,000 women that we can help there at that facility.
Well,
that's what I'm anticipating.
A second ago, she said she's opening it up. For you Houstonians might know what this is, the Bissonnette track.
Yes.
This is the most sex-trafficked street in, I want to say, the United States. And it's right here in Houston. I actually live 7 minutes from it. But it's crazy how when, it's like you cross on the other side of the tracks, everything gets clean and tidy, and there's security and HOAs, and like we have patrol cars in our neighborhood, and everything is much better. But you drive 7 minutes this way, broad daylight, streetwalkers going down the street, and it's heartbreaking. The other day, actually, I was driving home to our new neighborhood and kind of forgot, and I was just following my GPS. I didn't really think about where exactly it was leading me, and it led me through the Bissonnette track, and I usually go the other way home, and it was 9 p.m. and I was like, this was a mistake. And I've been there 1,000 times because it didn't used to be that bad. And so as it gradually got worse and worse, I started strategically avoiding that part of town. You are strategically going to that part of town.
God bless.
So if you need any volunteers, let me know. I'll be packing.
Yes, we are, this is the Lord's doing. Because nobody chooses to go to this community.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I don't, when we found the location, it was the same week that they murdered a cop in the middle of the day. Remember?
Yes,
Remember when that happened? So this is the neighborhood that we're going into. But, remember, that's the neighborhood the abortion industry targets.
Exactly.
They target the poor, the disenfranchised, the minorities, the black and browns. They target that community. So we will go in with truth. We will go in with services. We will go in with hope. And hopefully we will go in to save a whole lot of babies that's in the process of being
pull
aborted.
those sex slaves out of the
Yes.
range.
Yes.
I mean, what better way can you reach them? They're finally in a room by themselves.
Yes.
With a medical professional who says, I can help you. Like,
Yes.
let me know if you want out. Like, we have a
Right.
place for you to live. We have a place for you to raise your child.
Mhm.
You know, you can get away from all of this. And,
Right. And you know,
gives me goosebumps.
I'm talking now, and it sounds easy. But
Oh,
gosh.
Oh.
It's going to be really
Yeah.
No.
so I solicit and I appreciate all the prayers, the support. This is how you can support us: prayers, support, volunteers,
Money.
more information, money, all of
Yeah.
that. All of that is
Yeah.
what we need. You know, is what we need.
Yeah.
Male volunteers, I'm betting too.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Security.
Security,
Personal
is
bodyguards.
good. Yes, yes.
Something we were talking about a second ago is like not just y'all going into one of the most dangerous parts of Houston, maybe one of the most dangerous parts of Texas, but since the Roe v. Wade leak at the beginning of May, pregnancy centers have been vandalized all across the United States. And luckily, like y'all haven't had any shenanigans attempted, but you've had to hire 24-hour security for the last few weeks. And
Definitely helps
that's not
prevent
cheap.
shenanigans.
It does.
It does.
It
Yeah.
does. And like my church too has had to, you know, form like a security team and everything like that. I've just noticed a lot of churches, a lot of pregnancy centers having to shell out that money that they weren't expecting. That every dollar that they spend on security means that, you know, that has to come from somewhere else. So that's why we all need to step up and help pregnancy centers in our areas because, you know, that's difficult. And so you said something profound earlier too about, you know, there have been a lot of, I think it's been more calm since Roe v. Wade has been overturned than what we anticipated. Like I expected like Black Lives Matter riot level kind of thing.
Yeah.
We haven't, there's been places where there's been a lot of vandalism and violence, but there hasn't been that. And you said something profound earlier. Can you say that again? About
Well, let's not take this their silence as they gave up or turned it over to us. No, they will do whatever it takes for their agenda against unborn children, and they're calculating something behind the scenes. They're very calculative, but this is one thing that we are sure of: our God is great,
absolutely.
and this is how we win.
You're so
We
optimistic.
win.
I love it.
We win.
Love
We
your
win this
energy.
way. We win
All
every
we do
single
is
time.
win.
All we do is win.
win.
All we do is win. Listen. Let me tell you how awesome it is. You're gonna take the most pro-abortion president with the most pro-abortion administration, and in the middle of the month in June, you're gonna give us a
Right?
come on.
If that ain't God,
Come on.
Exactly.
Who can take the credit for that? Nobody. That was the Lord's doing.
this is a super Catholic thing too, but that was the feast day of the Sacred Heart of
Yes.
Jesus too. So
Right.
it's like
That was special to us.
right.
So for the non-Catholics, it's going to be special regardless,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But that's a super special day because that day is all about Christ's absolute mercy.
Yes,
And so, and we were joking, like maybe Amy Coney Barrett, who is Catholic, she's like, I really want to release this decision on this day.
Wow.
And everybody else was like, okay, whatever. And
Right.
then we were like, this is great. So it was
so
a good
good.
day.
What an amazing day. And
Yeah.
you know, and when it comes to security, I am looking at that security bill right now. But you know, the most important
Sorry.
thing is our staff and our clients. Safety for our staff and clients.
It's just money.
They're
There's
very
always
important.
more.
Right.
That's
But
why mom always said
I
more.
look at this, I'm like, but if Roe versus Wade wasn't overturned, I wouldn't need this.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, I know God's going to help me. People are going to
Felix
help me pay
Culpa.
it. But I get this in return for paying for security. And
Yeah.
and so I got one of the bills this morning. So
Oh,
yeah.
man.
God
But it's
bless
going to be
you.
worth it. Like I know
Yeah.
that's so overwhelming. We've experienced some of that like
Mhm.
pain ourselves because
Yeah.
we were paying for a lot of extra security because our building someone tried to get in and then we've had a couple bomb threats and we had to evacuate and we actually were boots on the ground. What did they throw
The
at our
communists,
conference?
the smoke
They
bombs.
came and threw smoke bombs and
Yeah.
like they vandalized the hotel we were at. It was really
Yeah.
weird,
Yeah, there's a lot of
unpleasant. So
nastiness.
those bills are expensive, but it makes me. I always feel like if you just put first things first, like everything else will come. And so if you keep your people safe, it's like putting your
Yeah.
mask on first.
Yeah.
Like put
Yeah.
your mask on first. It's
On the
worth it.
airplane.
Like it's gonna be
Just so you know.
that kind of mask. If we have some anti-mask people
No.
here, I I meant, like, take care of yourself. Like, and it's the same thing spiritually, too. I was going to ask, how do y'all avoid burnout? I know what you're going to say, but I want to ask you anyway. How do y'all avoid burnout?
Well, I went to a large church in Houston, and they have this department that takes care of their foreign missionaries. I said, well, you're going to have to bring that into the pregnancy centers now because of the number of clients. And I want just to give you a little bit. We do about 2,000 client visits per month.
Oh my gosh, y'all are one of the busiest.
Yeah, we're one of the busiest, and you know what? And that's not enough.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
No.
It's not enough. It's really, when you look at how many abortions are being done every single day. So, and then we also perform over 500 ultrasounds per month.
Wow.
So this staff and volunteers are like frontline people. And the church said, okay, Sylvia, this is what we do. We're going to give your staff free gym membership. We are going to have therapy available for your staff with professional therapists. We're going to come by and celebrate birthdays for your staff.
Oh my
So there are
gosh.
people that are reaching out to us, churches that are coming alongside us. We're so busy in the thick of it, in the middle of it, that that sometimes you forget how the workers need a blessing.
Yeah.
How the workers need reprieve, how the workers need to be encouraged. So pray for
That's
me.
beautiful.
as
I
a
love the
leader.
way that you run your center. A lot of times people assume that a nonprofit is going to be kind of chaotic and unorganized and that the staff are going to burn out. It's just, I remember going into TXRTL Life and people say, like, how long do you think you're going to last? How long are you going to burn out? Ministry burnout is so high. And I was like, I was really overwhelmed at the time. I didn't really have a plan. But we really emphasize strong faith here to avoid burnout. And so, but I've noticed, so I was calling a pregnancy center, a very small town, where my parents are. I was asking them to come to a networking meeting one day, and I was literally bringing potential donors for them because I was like, my parents just moved into this community and they really want to get involved, and would you like to come? Free lunch. My mom cooked, and the lady, unfortunately, she just kept giving me this answer like, I'm so busy, I'm so overwhelmed, I can't make it. And I was like, there's going to be 20 new donors in this house ready to write you a check. Wow. And she was like, I can't come. There's too many women coming to my center. And that broke my heart and made me realize they probably run their nonprofit in a rather chaotic, classic nonprofit way, like wearing too many hats. The burnout's too high, it's understaffed, and it's not her fault, right? But we need to learn how to run these places like a business, like in a very organized, efficient way, take care of the staff. And it sounds like you take care of your staff. And we try really, really hard at Texas Right to Life to take care of the staff. Because then people stay and it becomes like a family. And it really made me realize how blessed I am at Texas Right to Life when I was talking to this lady. But also I was like, oh my gosh, I want to help you. Like, I just want to come in and like whip everything into shape. And I know that she probably wouldn't like that, but I'm like that. So I was like, oh, she needs help. So I don't know, maybe I can put y'all in touch one day.
Oh, that'd be awesome. This reminds me of the story in the Bible, the two sisters, Mary and Martha. And I'm telling you, all pregnancy centers have that one person on staff. I can't come to the birthday party because I need to, oh, no. We're going to take some time out for rest, reflection. Jesus modeled that for us. Yeah. He modeled that for us. And we want to do the same thing for our staff. So God bless you for the support. And your heart and the community that really wants to help pregnancy centers. And which leads me to say this. I want to thank Texas Right to Life for all that you do when it comes to the A2A, abortion, alternatives to abortion funding. So thank you very much. Our pregnancy center happens to be the only one in Houston that's that receives those dollars, and I want to thank you a lot. Keep doing the hard work because we need more money. We need a lot more money. It's about what we receive is about 1/4 of our annual budget, but it really does help us out a lot. So thank you for that.
Yeah, the Alternatives to Abortion program is such a blessing. Like, we've had this since about 2005, and it's just a state-funded program where like your tax dollars go fund all these other things. And we thought, why not have, if your tax dollars are going to be used for something, why not something that provides an alternative to abortion rather than, sending that money to Planned Parenthood and stuff. And so, like, people think, oh, well, now you're done. You don't need the Alternatives to Abortion program anymore. No, we are trying to increase that so much this next legislative session because, there's going to be more and more women. Like you've seen, there was a surge after the Texas Heartbeat Act took effect. There was a surge after Roe v. Wade was overturned of women saying like, okay, I'm pregnant, I need help. Like that's what you're supposed to do as pro-lifers, right?
Right.
And so that's what we
Yeah.
do. So make sure you support your local pregnancy center. Make sure you contact your state representatives about the Alternatives to Abortion Fund and make sure that they increase that. How can our churches get involved to help pregnancy centers, help you guys?
Well, we certainly need the manpower. We need the volunteers. We need people in your church, who want to come in and be trained and work with the women and the men that comes to our doors every day. More staff, more volunteers, more people we can see. We're only limited by the number of people we see because we're limited by the number of volunteers we have. So that means we can serve more.
So short version, we're limited to the number of lives we can save with the number of volunteers we
Right.
have.
That's true.
Okay, guys,
That's it.
churches,
I
hear it.
love men.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. And the other thing is by having a baby shower, do a baby shower for us, for a client, or for the pregnancy center as a whole. Those resources really save us in monies. I mean, we're having to help these moms out. We want to stick to our commitment, to our word. You continue the pregnancy. We're going to make sure that you have everything your baby needs for brand new for the first 3 months when you bring your baby home. One of the things that we also do is we pay her rent the month that the baby's due, because she's like, Sylvia, I don't want to get on welfare. I don't want to lose my job. Well, you keep working. How much is your rent? Okay, the month that the baby's due, we'll pay your rent that month. Then I find a church that will pay the rent
That's
the
awesome.
second month. So we need
Wow.
churches that will come along.
Subsidiarity.
Yeah, that will come alongside us and help us along with that. We work with daycares in the city that provide free daycare, free childcare for her other
awesome.
children as well. We are pro-life. We commit to working with her until her unborn child is 3 years old. As a matter of fact, though, our baby number one that was saved from abortion 17 years ago, we're still helping her with her high school tuition. She didn't want to go to school in the hood where we're located. She's like, Miss Sylvia, I don't want to go there. I'm like, we saved this baby from abortion. So she's going to a
She
Christian
got her
high
heartstrings.
school. She's
wow.
going to a Christian high school to certify in a year. So we're still helping her as well.
That's
We
awesome.
don't let go that lie that they say only when the woman commits to continue the pregnancy that's not true.
Forced birth, and then you dump them in the backyard. So,
Right.
yeah,
And you help pay for
Yeah,
their high
right.
school
Yeah.
tuition. Darn.
Yeah.
This is torture, Elizabeth Warren. Torture.
And I have to tell you something that happened to me not too long ago, and you can probably edit this out if you need, but this is an
Probably
amazing
not.
story. But I want to tell you, remember I started this in 1985, 38 years ago. So I went and had a reunion of all the girls that I served in 1985.
Oh my gosh. Are you
Okay.
trying to make yourself cry or what?
So these were women that I served in 1985, and they're now grandmothers.
Oh my.
So you don't think about the baby that you're saving today
Yeah.
is a generation.
Yep.
We're so in the thick of it that when they showed up with their children and their grandchildren, I thought about how God just did this in a miraculous way. Families expanded, and I'm gonna
Brett's
tell you, you know what?
crying.
And let me tell you what we did at the reunion.
Kids, man, I'm so like, yeah.
What we did, and one of the things they did at the reunion, they said, we want to find a pregnancy center, and we want to do a baby shower for a young girl in the city right now. So these women did a baby shower for a young girl that was led from the abortion clinic. This is in Orlando, Florida. Led from the abortion clinic in Orlando, Florida, was pregnant. So these girls that I helped in 1985 did a baby shower for
Wow.
a young lady today
That's
that was in a
wonderful.
crisis pregnancy. I mean, this is life.
Yeah.
This is not fooling anybody, Elizabeth Warren. This is
So
not lying
true.
to anybody, Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
This is sowing into the lives forever and ever legacies that will not be forgotten.
Yeah, it's so amazing because just like how sin can multiply, like whenever you see a woman have an abortion and then it just compounds and creates all these other problems, life does the opposite and even more. It's like exponential growth of if you help one woman choose life, then you've got that baby, and then you've got generations after that, and so many blessings flow from that. And so that's why it's important to get involved with a pregnancy center, because like you said, it's not just the one child that you're saving, it's multiple. And so like if you help this one woman with rent, like that's so cool that you guys do that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I had this guy that came to me. He said, Sylvia, here I am. I'm 70 years old. I have money I want to give to you. He says, but I don't have any children. The only child I would have had, I paid the mother to abort that child.
That's so tragic.
So here I am alone, without any children, no legacy, no one to leave what I built in this world to, except Christian organizations.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just like we saw the grandchildren, there's a other side of that as well.
Yeah.
People who are grieving the loss of children that are not here.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's wonderful though that he came to you and
Yes.
he recognized, because there's so much joy in asking for forgiveness and saying, now I'm going to give back.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like
Right.
how many women who have had an abortion are say that was wrong, and I need healing, but now I'm going to give back.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
like that's wonderful.
And his donation went towards an ultrasound machine.
Oh,
That's helping
grand.
other babies
Wow.
And
to
those
live.
ain't cheap.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like $20,000 per machine, I think. or more.
75,000.
Oh my gosh, I was a little
Inflation.
off.
We have to do the
Inflation, man.
Yeah, well, not only that, with the heartbeat law, I mean, we need the
Yeah.
super 4D, 3D,
Yeah.
Right.
very powerful.
they're young babies.
young
Yeah.
babies. And
Mhm.
so,
So
we need
good.
the best machines.
Yeah.
You can't put me in the middle of a war zone and give me a water pill, water
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah.
I need,
That's not gonna work.
I need the best
You
of
need
the
the big
best.
ammo.
Need the best of the best.
So we've talked about the need for volunteers. What's like step one for churches to get their toe in the water here?
Step one for churches to get their toe in the water is, I think if you're listening to this podcast right now and you're a church, call Texas Right to Life. Call them and say, I want my church to get involved in some way. So start here. Start by calling this number, coming here. You have these two beautiful women that will guide you and direct you into the right pregnancy center, the right area, the right place to go. So it's not even that complicated. We'll make it real easy for you.
Yeah.
You know,
713-782-5433.
Yes.
Or text pro-life to
40237.
Yes.
And you're probably going to talk to Monica or Adrian, and they are the coolest people.
They are.
And they will give you all the information you could ever
Yeah.
want, and so much more.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We can start there. And then we have other churches. I have a church here in Houston that's at Sylvia Post Road. Tell me what you need. And I'm going to tell you what the vision is that I have. My vision is these little mini pregnancy service centers. They're not pregnancy help centers or crisis pregnancy center. There's no medical in these buildings. These buildings will have professional pregnancy case management staff inside. If you are pregnant, you walk inside, and it is their job to immediately connect you to medical services, to food stamps, to formula, to housing, to daycare. It's all a service center right there for you. Help you plan the future, work out a budget with you, help you through this crisis as well. And you don't have to be a client of a pregnancy center. You can just be pregnant in the city, wandering around,
Yeah, just
and
looking
just
for
come right in
social
here.
services.
Because this is post-roll now. We're post-roll now, so it needs to look a little different. So we will, and not only that, we will have one of the case managers will be a man. So when baby daddy come through the door, he needs help as well. This is how we help the family, by helping the father as well. So with resources, support, education, and not only that, adoption education is very important right now.
Oh, yeah.
We need to make sure that that is strong. We need to dispel the myths in the minority communities about adoption. We need to make sure that they understand the gift, the beauty, the goodness of adoption, so that they can make those choices as well. Now that abortion is out of state or
Out of state.
out of
Yeah.
state.
It's illegal here.
Mhm.
People, the culture of death doesn't take breaks, though.
No,
They don't.
that's right.
They don't. Most of our neighbors, except for New Mexico, I'm looking at you, New Mexico, we're coming.
Yep.
We are indeed, actually, physically.
Yes.
Our
Yep.
ledge team is already consulting New Mexico Right to Life. And yeah, it's pretty exciting.
That's good. That's good. Well, you know what? I'm so proud of what has done, what Houston, Texas Right to Life has done. I mean, you guys are trailblazers. Let's keep it going.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Don't
And
get
just a
tired.
reminder for our viewers too. You might be thinking,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm not in Houston." That's okay. I mean, we have a whole website for looking at which centers are all over the state. So
Yeah.
There's a
if you
fancy
go-
little map. You can go find one closest to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go to TexasRightToLife.com. There's a button that says Pregnant Need Help. That also applies for if you're looking to volunteer with a pregnancy center. You can look at the map, find one near you. And you might be thinking, I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know how to help. I love to ask. If you call, one of the things I like to do is ask people, what are your particular gifts? Like you might be thinking, well, I'm an engineer. None of this applies to me. I really don't know what to do. I'm like, well, they need someone to mow the lawn every Saturday. Can you do that?
Yeah.
You
Can you
know.
bake cookies and help them remember
Yeah.
like we're real people? Like just having
Right.
little like pick me ups too, because this is a
Right.
spiritual battle. And
It is.
like last year, whenever Heartbeat took effect, like that was the toughest time in my entire life, probably. And just little things that people would do that helped me remember, like, oh, you're a real, like, normal person. You can do normal things. Like, that made a world of difference to me. So every single day, these pregnancy centers are on the battle, and you can see the lowest of lows and the highest of highs whenever somebody chooses death or chooses life. Bake them some cookies, bring them over, mow their lawn. What else?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and special skills, like if you think, well, I have experience in IT, well, then maybe help them with a little project to improve their website. Or a lot of our young people say, I'm really good at social media. Well, great, build up their social media page. One girl a couple years ago said, I'm a visual arts major, and all of their pamphlets look like they're from the 80s. And so I'm going to make them some new ones for free, because it took her like 2 hours to do it.
Yeah.
So that was great. And now they have this beautiful updated brochure that they can take around when they're doing tabling events and stuff.
That's so
So
good.
just
Yeah,
little things
something
like
else
that.
that's really neat. We have a wonderful Catholic church here, and they provide we call it Epiphany Meals. And these are meals that they cook for our mamas who have other children at home. So when they come home from the hospital with their new baby,
Yes.
they have a week of meals already prepared for them and their children, and it's delivered to the mother as well when she comes home. This is love.
Yeah.
This is love. This is real, the church in action.
Yeah.
It really is love. So those are some of the things that churches are doing, but we do need the church financial support. We need your support. We need your volunteers. We need resources. We need all of that. And we're ready to make a difference in the lives of people because of the body of Christ, because of the church backing us.
Sylvia, thank you so much for joining us today. We need to do this again in the future. I love this. It's so fun. How can people get in contact with you?
www.fifthward.org, fifth ward spelled out, .org.
Cool. We'll throw the link in the description. Any upcoming major happenings or events?
Absolutely, yes. We have Father David Michael Moses' annual Concert for Life.
I love
Will
him
be-
so
isn't
much.
he amazing?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be at the Bayou Event Center on July 28th. 7:30 until 9 p.m. So hopefully, and it's free. You can just come out.
Hey, there
Lots
you
of
go.
security will be there. Lots of security will be there.
It's so much fun. Father David Michael has so much energy. I think he's my age. So like,
yeah, he's been a musician forever. and
He's so
really
talented.
talented and
Yeah.
so much fun. He's like a rocker up there on stage with his priestly collar.
yes,
It's great.
It's so much fun. Everybody needs to come to this, and it's benefiting you guys.
Yes, it
That's
is.
awesome.
It's a benefit for the Houston Pregnancy Health Center.
That's
Yes.
so good.
Awesome.
Cool.
Oh my gosh, so much covered. It's so much more we didn't cover, but we need to just do this again.
Exactly.
So until then, guys, you have been given marching orders, tips to help, things to do, ways to get involved. So like, heart, share, all those little button things. Share this with your church. Share this with your friends. You get out there, change some hearts and minds, and we'll save some lives and change the world. We'll see you next week.